Okay, so today I'm just going to show you the graph editor, which is very important part of doing 3D animation. You can control your animation through graph, and after some time, if you have experience of doing project means even class assignment, you will be in the position to, without looking at animation, you can say what kind of animation is happening. Especially, it's all about timing and spacing. What kind of movement is happening? This is just an introduction of graph editor, and when we will come to 3D animation, character animation only in next semester to next semester very much. So we'll be using that now and then to control our animation. It's very handy tool. It make your life very easy to do animation. If somebody knows After Effects, is anyone who knows After Effects?
Yes, sir.
Sir, a little bit.
Tell me the name. I can't see that chat box. That's why.
Sir, Kaushlesh Kumar.
Okay. So this tool is not only available here, many other software also. But even Animate CC it is there, but in very small quantity, you can say this, not as exhaust as in Maya. Adobe After Effects, I have seen people use, but I'm not sure because I haven't done that. So many times, if you need to work in two windows, right? If it is three, then some other layout could be there. So generally, if I do animation, so I go for perspective and the graph editor. So you need to, what you need to do, you have to just go for layouts, two panels side by side, which I prefer. You can go other way around also. Other options are also there. And I'm I'm thinking to take that object or character here and the graph over here. So once again, many times panel to panel, and you have to find out graph editor. So panel, within panel there's a panel and then graph editor. So it is open now. So nothing is visible since there's nothing in this Maya environment. So by just exploring, what should I say, Maya animation, bouncing ball. I'm just creating one surface. And you have to go to channel and surface, table, or whatever you want. You can give the name. Now it's locked, so I'm not able to select it because it is saved in the layer. Whenever, if I want, then I can just simply uncheck this, then it is active. Otherwise, T is there, and then R is there, reference, or you can say wireframe or something. And if you click B, so it will hide out. Creating a ball so that I can show you the ball bouncing. Purpose, since you have already gone through 2D, the bouncing. But whenever you are doing this, is a suggestion also. Any medium, whenever you go in any new medium, just try out. It opens the way of doing animation. Whenever you use Alt plus up and or down or left arrow, you can go for minor movement. So increasing transformation. And I am supposed to animate this. So I'm creating the ground level so that a bit compared to grid surface is there for you so that you can identify, okay, avoid that surface penetration and everything. Right click, add object. This thing is available for animating. So whenever you're doing any kind of animation in Maya, like any other software, many person is having different workflow. So I prefer that before starting you have to just check things. So make sure that many times, even after a long time, if I'm doing, I forgot to set. So if it is play every frame, so things goes very fast. So let's keep it for 24 FPS. And time slider. So here, tangent, especially tangent. So few options are there. If you look at and you try to find out some other international institution or wherever trainings are there, they generally prefer to work in a step mode. So generally keep in tangent linear and out tangent stepped, then save. So once this circular button is there, that icon, you have to click it. It should be reflected in red color, means auto key is activated. If it is accidentally not there, if you are doing something and you forget to set a key, then nothing can be. It goes back to its zero position. Okay, so again I'm going for my tool tray and the tools which I'm going to use. Mostly I'm going to use under animation setting key. So either you press set S key or it should be there. Checkbox there, then edit, reset, close. Again go back, key, then shift and control and click it. So let me see, yeah, it's there. Set key, and this is the way you can use graph editor here also. Or other way you can bring the graph editor to here also. So window, animation editor, graph editor. So from here also you can open. Close. Whenever you need, you can open. It is here also. But if I click this, it will change. Right? You can't see in both ways. So whatever way, I'm keeping here so that parallelly and at the same time you can look what exactly is happening there. Where is graph? If I select this one and press S key or either this button, so these are the timeline, very common. I think in almost every software this kind of timelines are there in Adobe Animate CC or even compositing software, Adobe After Effects. If you are using, I'm sure there would be like this thing. Probably design UI could be some other way, but this is there. So on frame number 1, I press S key. So you can see that the red tick is there. It means it is key. At the same time, if you look at the channel box, it is highlighted with the red key. It means there's an input of these channels. Channels means translate Y, XYZ, rotate XYZ, and scale XYZ, and visibility. Right? So it means some key is set. Now you can see some data in this graph editor. This graph. So if I select this one, so hopefully you can see the color and you can find out. This is red means x-axis, green means y, and this is z-axis. This is which is since I selected, so it is yellow. Otherwise, if I select another axis, so it is blue. So you can find this is a z-axis. As per animation, the ball should move. It should be there for some point. So we call it in animation. Everything it does not start at all immediately or all of a sudden until unless there's some exterior external force works on that or something. Otherwise, it accelerates in some regular fashion. It's not like that all of a sudden something. So I'm saying okay, 5 frame it is going to be there only. That is hold position. In next 10 position, it should go to this edge. So I'm setting key and bringing over here. So you can see since it is stepped key, you can see only poses what you have created. Means you are not able to see the data or the poses or the frames created by the system. Okay, so that's why since you have to be very careful and very strong in creating key poses because those poses are the storytelling poses. So you are able to see only the poses created by you. Besides, I can switch from here also. Okay, let's see from right. Here's a ground, right? So probably next 5 frame, it is about to touch the ground first time. Then it bounces back to the height of you can say probably 60% of this the initial height 60%. You are not supposed to calculate, just guess it. It gets 60% of that. So initially it is here, frame number 10, and then 15 it is here. So 60% somewhere here it is going to come back. Then you have to just simply then next 5 frame it is again coming back to ground. Just hold on. Okay, so I'm coming back. Okay, so this is some kind of my blocking animation. Whenever you do this kind of thing, the stage we call it blocking stage. We are just blocking out the initial stages. At the same time, if you someone asks or if you want to try to find out what exactly 3D animatics. So can anyone tell me what is animatics?
Question, sir?
What do you understand by the word animatics? Definition of animatics.
Oh, animatics?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. So based on
एनिमेटिक्स प्रीव्यू होता है सर एनिमेशन से पहले का.
okay, anybody else wants to add something? Okay. See, we have been going through all the different subjects, but it is somewhere related to each other. So based on your first idea, you develop a story. Based on your story, you develop a script. So after script, till the script, it is all about textually, through words. Next stage comes once storyboard comes. You at the same time, because in animatics is a kind of movie through the storyboard. So what do we do? Whatever dialogues are there in the script, so roughly we record those dialogues. You must have seen many behind the scene of animated movies that you can film actor giving his or her voice to some animated character. So that is for final output. But before the time when the animation or the production is going on, beforehand also they create a means some team member or somebody who can do it easily. They record simply that dialogue. So because of that audio track and which I'm referring as a dialogue, you get a time period, timeline. Okay, these many frames. If I speak this dialogue, it is for 2.5 seconds. Then you can break it, those 2.5 seconds into frames. If 1 second your production is following 24 frames, you can multiply that. If 24, 48, and then probably 60. So on 60 frame, once the dialogue finish, uh, storyboard pose 2 should come, right? Pose 1 something happening, and then pose 2 this happening. So once that time period comes that the dialogue is about to finish, immediate after that second pose or second board, you can say, the panel, you can say, it is about to start from there. Slowly, if you in probably YouTube, let me see if I can show you. It would be easy to make you understand. So I think you won't be able to see the audio. So this is animatics, where you are just scanning your storyboard and adding the rough dialogue, rough audio track. If I found it would be more explanation. Many times call it previous also. Previous. Pre-visualization. You are visualizing before going for this one, the final one. Okay, hope it is giving you some understanding.
Yes sir.
So what you generally doing that you scan the storyboard, whatever you've done, and then scan it, and at the same time bring this images to any of the video editing software or any software which supports. There are particular software which helps in animatics also. So club the visuals and the audio and give the timeline. Okay, for these many frames it should be there. So it gives you a rough idea what exactly going on. So previs is this kind of thing. This is, you can say, for example, you can pretend it a bouncing ball previs for you, and since if you select that this is the animation you're supposed to do till 50 frames. So this is your duty to apply, means being as an animator, or if you are working as an animator, make this animation much more believable, more natural, more interesting, right? So now you can see, if I press A, that data is there, which was earlier not there. So the same, if you look at the channel, that translate XYZ, rotate XYZ, and scale Y XYZ, so same thing is there. So mostly we are animating this thing. It is moving in Z direction and it's going up and down. So if I press translate X, so you find hardly anything, nothing is there for you. Right? It's totally flat because nothing is happening in that axis. If I go to rotate Y, then you can see this ups and down, and so on. Right? If I click this one, so you can see it is moving, then moving, and then moving, and then moving, so on. It is, you have to keep your mind open. It looks very difficult in initial stage, but if you work, it's very easy and handy also. It will make your life very easy. So you can look at this here, and you can navigate in the same way the way you do in regular one. So if this yellow, you can say 5 number, it is written 5 and then tick is there, it means it's a key. It's highlighting the key. Wherever there's a key, it is there. So what if I play, rather than touching this real object, if I manipulate over here? What if I select this drag and selection and make sure your move tool is activated? You see this? From here I'm controlling. I'm not touching that 3D ball. I'm controlling that thing from here. Control your animation from here also. For example, if I go to this one, and as you know, frame number 1 it is here only. Frame number 2 it is hold pose. Then 10 it is coming to this corner. On frame number 15 it is coming this way, and then 20 it is going this, and then 25 and this and this, 50. So from here also I can identify that on frame number 1 it is not bouncing, so you can see it's static. Frame number 2, if I go to this here, 2, nothing is, it's not moving any at all in the Y up and down. Frame number here, it is again not moving. But what if I just slightly like this, slightly bring it, so you can see it is going inside the geometry. So in that case, if something in actual also, if this happened, you can control from here also. It is coming down. So this is the value, and then it's coming down. That's why this key is here. Next frame, going up. So that's why the next key is up. Then coming to ground. So all the ground frame you can see it's on ground. And now you can see that it's not coming on exactly same way. This is the slightly up, and this is slightly up. So from here itself we can understand, no, this should be there, on it should touch on the ground. So if I just looking at this, then it's not exact same way, because ground is here. It means it's not touching the ground here. So what if I go here? So you can see there is a gap between the surface and the ball. It's not touching. Okay, so this should be in the on equal line also. Same with here. So this is very first stage when you are doing bouncing ball. So you can say blocking stage. So next stage is about breakdown. Breakdown means you have to add some keys which give you direction to your animation. So now I'm just going to this one and selecting this, press A, selecting all. So some tangents are there. These are the tangents which change your animation. Slowly, don't get panic. This is just an introduction, and in coming time we'll go in very deeper. This every tool, auto tangent, and then spline, and clamp, linear, and so and so. So what if I click this? So you can see that there's a change in this graph, and at the same time the change in the animation also. Right? I'm sure you can feel that once it was in the blocking or the this one. Again, if I go here, so that where is that this one? So now look at the animation. Okay. If I just click this one, so now you can see every frame there's a key. Favorite key. Every frame, every single frame there's a data. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So this data is generated by the software or the hardware both. Every frame there's a screen. So this way you can do some animation. This is not actual final animation. The way of doing animation in Maya. I'm just sharing that only. Few tools are available to support your this. If I go to animation over here, so one thing is ghost. Ghost means kind of onion skinning. Cannot find person. So now you can see that ghost means like both only the ghost. So you can see that few back frames and few upcoming frames. You can find out whether you are getting that arc or not. Let's say for on frame number 12 you want it is going in linear way, so it should be somewhere here. And why nothing is we can see because the setting is still in the this one step one. So for that, once you are coming to next stage, that is the breakdown and the polishing one, you have to change it. You have to either go for spline or auto, whatever you want. Then save it, select this one, go back to again this one. So now if you manipulate, you can see that that you can identify, you can visualize, right? So this is the arc. Earlier it was, if it is not there, if I delete it, right click and delete, so it is this one. So we are not following one of the principle of animation, that is arc. For that, I am adding, this is the breakdown key, or you can say, which is very important. Then again, I'm coming here. So you can see it's going some ridiculous way. Again, you need something because it's not in the that one. So once you're done, then the next is just off the unghost. This from here you ghost. If you select, this is ghosting. I think this is not working here. I don't know why. No, it's what. Or next to that, this one. So it's actually just an information. There are many blunders in this animation. The position, posing, everything. So once I click this one, so this is a motion trail. So you can see the path also. Make sure that you are selecting the animated object. If I select, then it is there. Now from this point, I can modify the path also. It is becoming more and more easy once you are coming to 3D. By looking at this, we can correct it. Follows the path, and wherever the frame it is, you can see the frame number also. So now if you want to delete it, you have to go to this one, outliner. Especially you have to go either outliner from here or otherwise here. Maybe outliner, yeah, it is there. So you can see this motion trail. You can delete here, so it is gone. So this is the very simple object, and it is just doing some very basic kind of minimal animation or minimal movement. So that's why data is very less. So if there are n number 4-5 balls, you will get more and more data. Means the name would be there and the property of that character and things are there. So here, from here, you can even control your animation. Okay, you can control from here. Many things will do it in coming session. So from here also you can change this everything. If I again click this one, so you can find that it's impacting your animation if I just change here, right? Can you see this? If I manipulate over here, so the image manipulation is happening here also. So we very much can control your animation. So you have to equally respect this graph editor the way you respect this window where you're actually working, right? Anyone, any question till here? So this thing, all thing I'm controlling from my graph editor, and things are almost same navigation. You have to select, use middle mouse, the same thing, zoom. Almost same thing, the way you control your other viewports. Okay, so that's it for today. The basic intro of the graph editor, how to control your animation. Question I have now: are you people able to understand how to set a key here? In very other way, if I say locking the position, if I want to lock the position, for example here, and I'm offering this, I want this, it should be there, this data should be there, I have to lock it. Do you know how to lock it? Yeah, someone?
No, sir.
So whenever you want to lock, that means you have to set a key. So it locks on there itself. Since it is auto key is there, for example, if I just remove it, and if I come in here and I say, okay, I want here, I want that it should be locked. This position should be locked. But since auto key is not there, and you can find that there's no auto tick, red color tick. If you as you come back, that you miss that. But if I want now, I want this here, and I want to lock this position, and I press the key set. Just simply press S key. Now you can see that red tick is there. Now if I go back, so that position locked. So animation, see, try to understand animation in a very other way. One image sequence, just visualize the image sequence in a proper way, image sequence. So you have to find out which image is very much important. Without that image, you can't do anything. That action is not possible to happen. So those keys we have to lock the means. Otherwise, you have to set the key there, right? For example, if it is here, I want no, it should go here. So since no auto key is there, the moment I go back, it's come back. So I want know it should be here. Then I press S key, or I keep my auto key button on. So now it is going up and then coming. And very first of all, before coming to Maya or before coming to any software, you have to plan out on paper. Let me see if I can draw here in Maya. This is that grease pencil is there, and you can wherever you set. So, for example, you are saying skateboard, right? Skateboard, only skateboard, or skateboard if some characters on this? Okay. For example, this is skateboard, right? So what is the general pipeline the universally follows? If you have this, for example, you get this scene to animate professionally. So very first of all, you two ways there. Either you have a Google with you or YouTube with you, go and find out the behavior or the mannerism the this one skateboard. So once you get an idea, so then you have to find out, okay, how to animate. So you have to go bare minimum of the keys. First, let's say it's all about it is starting from here and coming and stopping here, right? Just for example, it's moving here and coming here. That is your animation, and you will get this information in your storyboard. Bare minimum information in storyboard. And based on story, you have to divide whether this going in this way or it is coming and going like this way. That is breakdown. You decide and you take a call being as an animator from this position to this position. What would be the way of moving from here to here? This skateboard can go simply from here to here. This skateboard could simply go and slightly jump and here to here. This go like this and then come back. So this is breakdown, which give direction to your animation. And this is the key poses. KPI I'm writing. which is essential for your storyboard, which is essential to be visualized by your audience. So you have to create this, and you have to create this breakdown also. It is very important. Which way, what way, and how would it happen from this position? That whatever decision you take, it comes in this breakdown. Then rest of the thing is in between. So now you decided that it is going to, and roughly you have to, if you have reference, then you will set first and last key. It is mostly I'm telling you about pose to pose when you are nothing is ready with you. So you set a key on first and just guess how many frames or record a reference image or find out some video footage. You'll get a rough idea. Okay, these many minutes, these many seconds it needs to reach from here to here. So whatever, let's say for example, 100 frames. It needs 100 frames from starting to ending this position. 100 frames, you'll say. So first key is your on first frame, key number 1, and second pose on 100 frame. You have to set the key if this is available as a 3D model. Then you have to be that habit of animation principle should be there. It should be a part of your behavior. So two things possible, that this is your frame, screen frame or whatever. One thing is possible that this skate is already there, that skateboard is already there and then moving. Situation 1. Situation 2, it is coming from out and then all of a sudden visible in the screen and then holding over, coming, traveling and holding over. So based on that you have to take a call. For me, it is there in the scene and it is automatic. Then only it is moving. So I need to give, because if something happened all of a sudden, nothing visible, means nobody, the person or the audience or the crowd or the masses looking at your animation is not in the position to understand what exactly happened. So we have to always create some moving hold. Okay, this is keyword, means every animation you must have moving hold. A hold, but just should not be look like a stone. Something must be there. I'm talking about organic character. If we stand, we do not stand just like a stone. We generally take breathe, slightly movement is there. So your animation looks lively. So first, so some frame you need to this kind of thing, moving hold. So since it's not the organic, so it is almost same. Let's say frame number 1 and frame number 10 position would be same. It means frame number 1 to 10, it is there only. That is moving hold. Frame number 1 to frame number 10. So 10 onward, frame number 10 to let's say 5. So again, go back to animation principle, that is anticipation. Every action you have to add anticipation, every action. So in professionally we write antic. When in industry, rather than calling anticipation, we simply donated antic. You have to add antic. Antic means it could be any way. That is a very detailed study that what kind of antic should be there. I hope you people know antic, anticipation.
Yeah.
Okay. So some kind of anticipation. If it is cartoony, I could just squash it, slightly squash and give this angle. There itself, it is squashing and getting that. So our audience get ready and we get an information is focused that something has happened. So antic helps, it controls your audience that okay, something happened, be ready. So frame number 10 to 5, it should go whatever way it can be go. So let's say if you are planning, so some frame you have to create. Next frame this one, then that this one, and if it is coming then somewhere here and then here, it's already there. So that is your sensibility of timing and spacing, that where exactly you create this frame. It can be on frame number 5, it can be on frame number 15, it can be immediately frame number 16. So that you have to learn in coming time when you do, just play around. Okay, what if I keep this frame rather than 5 on 15, what would be impact on my animation? You'll get the answer there itself. Once you change your animation, why not we do it here only? If I select this one, So you can see this. What if I just immediately click number 6? So simply what you have to do, shift and click it. So once it is highlighted, you can move it. So it is now on 5 numbers, immediate after 5, then 6. So what would be the impact on animation? See, it's too fast, means hardly we can catch. On the other hand, what if I just delay it, means if it is coming just before 12 number, then if you play, so you can see the difference when you play around with the keys. It is all about animation sense. It's not about animation skill or animation sense. For this, you have to watch more and more animated movies. You'll get slowly that sensibilities come inside you, and then you can play. So by just shuffling these keys, animation can be changed. So antique to this frame, and once you are decided that this is going to be my frame on these numbers, and once all done, if you are happy with your blocking animation, if it is giving you rough timing, okay, it suits to my real timing, go to graph editor, select all the controller whatever available, convert into this different kind of spine, this tangent. So slowly, after practice, after experience, you come to know, okay, this tangent is going to more effective than that tangent, right? So you can apply, you click, so it will get converted to that. So for example, if I select this one, and I'm converted into linear. So if I click linear, you can see everything is just like angular robotics. But I want, okay, here I want something different. I go and apply this. So here I'm changing. Here I want something else. I'm changing. Right. So once you are getting more and more detail about graph editor, you will be in the better position to control it. So this is all about doing animation in Maya. It is much easier than any other because more healthy. That's why Maya is an industry standard for doing animation, not the Max. Many people use Max for some kind of modeling, but in animation, mostly people are using Maya in industry. Hope it is clear about this. The intro of this, most focusing on graph editor, and this graph is available in Animate CC by other name and in Adobe After Effects and some other, but the computer science behind that is very same. Any question?
सर ग्राफ सेटअप बता दीजिए, उसको सेटअप कैसे करना है ग्राफ को?
Okay. So this is very first view for you, and since you can't see that grid, so that this icon is there or the button is there. If you click, it is there. Or if you click, and it's not there. And apart from that, this is very important thing. What you want to see inside your screen, you can decide that I only want to see the curves. Then only curves would be visible. I want to only see everything, joint. It covers almost everything, dynamics, modeling, and so on. So even grid is there. Okay, see from here also we can do this. So one simple same thing can be done in 3 other way in Maya. So how to do that? If you are doing animation, this is my style. You can start with that. And why I'm stressing on doing blocking, because you just go and find out. You find that that is the standard of doing animation because it is under our control, and that's why you can find Hollywood movies more beautiful, smoother, or soft because they follow this technique. Though in India TV production, you directly go from 1 to n. For example, again I'm going for this. So if my setting is now before starting animation, this is auto, which is not the thing which I have told you earlier. So it is auto. So what other than step key, what exactly the difference? If I animate this one, in first position, and I set a key on frame number 1, and if I just go to frame number 10 and moving it, my auto key is on, so it is converting. So now you can say at the immediately same time you can see, look this. Okay, and then 20 you decided, okay, this one. And 30 you decided that it should slightly move. On 40 you decided it should move very fast. Right? So in small or TV production you can use any kind of setting, but my advice, you experience everything so that you can, whenever as per the requirement of production pipeline, you can switch your tendency to do so. So now question, how to show that graph editor. Graph editor can be found many ways. Sometime it is available here also, a combination. Sometime you have to go to Windows and it is part of animation, so you have to go to animation graph editor. Under Windows, animation editor, then the graph editor. So floating window is there. So since we are moving it in z-axis only, so you can see that only z-axis having the data. It is, if it is changing slightly, it is some information is there, some movement is there, right? So first key is, you can see the value. This is the state one, and this is the value minus 11.90. If I select this, Control C, and select this all, and second column, if I press, so what happened? We'll go back to this one, animation. See, nothing is there. Why? Because every frame having the same location, same position. So whenever you select this, so this is state one is about keyframe, and this is timing, and this is spacing. On 10 frame number 10, if it is there, uh, if I go for, let's say, minus 25, so it is going back. Or if you go with the plus positive 25, so it is there, right? So graph editor is available in floating way also. And if you are working here in like preset, if you have animation, so this window, you'll get this all window in this way of doing. This is your base. From here your control. It's based on your level of comfortable, what way you want to do. And again go back to Maya Classic this way. Otherwise, panel layouts, first you have to decide two panels side by side, which I prefer, but you can go in other way, like two panels stack, like this way. Any of the panel you can convert into graph editor. There is the graph editor here. It is here. Now you can animate here. You can switch from graph here, viewport from here, and you can animate. So if you open that gross editor, you can visually can see what exactly happening here. This one, simply if you are manipulating. And remember, timing spacing, the very first time I discussed, if
Yes, sir.
images overlap to each other, if it means, if it's overlapping 100%, means it is static. If it overlapping just near to 100, like 90%, means very slow. Means if I just making it almost same, you can see the images coming overlapping here. Can you see this left side? The distance between images is increasing. The green side, the blue side. Don't look at the orange one or the brown one. Left side of the window. This one. So if I manipulate, see the image is coming. Means if there is no distance, it's not moving at all. If there's smaller distance between two images, it's moving slower. If the distance is more, it is moving fast. So from here also you can look at this. stopping sharing.
सर जो अभी आपने चेंज किया था सर उसको हम उसमें भी तो यूज कर सकते हैं जैसे अभी कौशिश ने पूछा था स्लो इन स्लो आउट तो सर उसमें अनियन स्किनिंग मतलब ग्राफ में चेंज करके वो हो जाएगा ना ऑटोमेटिक
Slow in, slow out. Its main purpose is all about timing spacing that is related to slow in, slow out. After some time, if you do more and more exercise, and it's not now because there's a separate subject for 3D animation. Third semester, I guess. वो common है. See, when why I'm saying computer science behind everything. Let me share you again this one. So this one, yes, very simple formula. Like I always ask this repetitive question before answering anything. Let's say if you are sitting on some position, just pretend that you are in a classroom in one table, and then you are supposed to go to the door of your classroom. Situation one, that is. So distance is fixed because there's a location A where you are sitting and location B the door. So distance is same. The only thing what I can change, I ask that you have to reach from A to B in 1 second. That is one. And then if I say no, you have to reach not less than, not more than 1 minute. So the speed will automatically affected. In 1 minute, it is going to be slower as compared to 1 second. That's why it's a matter of seconds. It means it is very fast. Matter of second means you are playing with the time. So this is all about time. This time slot is all about time. If this 40 number frame I shift select and bring it to 100. So it is taking more time for the same distance. Okay. So yes, that is the possible. Either you play with this timing or you can go here and play with the spacing. Spacing means the location.